Hey, Val Middle School. Today we're going to be going a little bit old school, using a ruler and paper and colored pencils to make a metric conversion key or chart. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch over to the dot camera. I'm going to pause for a moment. Use a ruler to complete this assignment. There's going to be some things you have to know. And those things are pretty straightforward on using a ruler. Most people know that the ruler is divided into these segments called inches. These are the biggest unit of measure that divides it into. So if I put a line right over here, this would be 0 inches. This would be 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and so on. Also, inside there's a bunch of other little marks, and you'll need to know some of these for today. For example, this mark right here is the ½ mark. So here's another ½ mark. So this is a ½ inch, this is 1 inch, this is 1½ inches, 2. Here's 2½ inches, 2. And the other mark you'll need to know today is this one right here. This is the ½ inch mark. So this is 1/4 of an inch, this is 2/4 of an inch or a half, this is 3/4 of an inch or 4/4 of an inch or a whole, 1 whole. Alright, so we're going to be using this quarter, we're going to be using this half, and we're going to be using this 1 here. Nothing too huge. So on a sheet of paper, you'll notice that if you, let me bring my dot camera up so you can see the whole sheet. You'll notice that if you measure it out, you're going to have your sheet is going to be 11 inches from end to end and top to bottom. It's going to be 8½ inches. Can't quite see it there, but there's the 8½. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put a ½ inch border on both sides of your page. The sides, not the top and the bottom, the sides. But let me just zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so you will use your ruler, you'll lay it down. You're going for this point right here, the ½ inch mark. Put a little dash on your paper. Zoom in so you can see that I actually did do it. Put the dash down. I am just trying to make sure you can see it. I already put the marks on to make it go a little faster. And then go on down near the bottom of the page or 2/3 of the way down, put another little dash, I have another one there. And then go ahead and take and draw a line to connect those two pieces, those two dots. I would suggest using a pencil, otherwise you'll probably be starting over. There, I've got a ½ inch border on that side. Go ahead and pause the camera. I'll pause too and do it on the other side. The same thing, a ½ inch margin on the far side. Okay, you can see I have my border on there. Now I want you to lay your ruler down, and if you measure between those two lines, you should have 10½ inches, just like I do. Now I've got some other marks on the paper. I would like you to put a mark at 1½ inches, 3 inches, 4½ inches, 6 inches, 7½ inches, 9 inches, and what you're going to do here is put 2 marks on them. You can see I have them on the top and the bottom, and then draw lines. We're going to make columns that are 1½ inches wide. I'll go ahead and pause and let you do it. I will do the same. Okay, so you can see I drew those columns, and I've got these 7 1 1/2 inch columns. Now I'm just going to have you take and fold your paper in half, like a hot dog, the long way. Hopefully it'll do a pretty good job there. It looks like I did. A little off, but I can fix it. Okay, great. Now I want you to use your ruler, and I want you to measure down from the top of the page. I want to mark at 1 inch, 2 inch, and 3 inch. And put those on there a couple of spots. I did them here. I did them down here. And then I want you to connect those. I'll let you pause the video, and I'll pause too, and I'll draw those lines. Okay, when you're done, it should look like this. And I've zoomed in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Now, on this back side here, I'm just going to let you leave this one blank. This one we're going to use for some extra credit, and also for, you can use it if you make a mistake on the front half. You can use the bottom half of that instead of extra credit. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the other document now. So now I want you to get all of this information that I have on the screen. I want you to place it in this chart here. So you can do it however you want. I've left some spots, and I'll just kind of give you one example of how I might do it, but I'm going to let you decide how you want to put this information on there. So let me switch back to the dot camera. For example, I got myself 7 or 8 different colors here of pencils, and I am going to start by, I think that probably the most important thing is the name of them. So I'm going to see if I can do these in order here. I'll grab, I don't know what color this is. This might be purple or blue. I don't know. It's one of the two. So I'm going to put down kilo here. Choose a different color. I'm colorblind, so I got to keep those in order. Kilo, and then the next one is hecto. Kilo, hecto. Go to a brown. Deca. And then the next one was base. I'm going to pause and I'll finish for a little bit. So I've gone ahead and I've decided I was going to put the kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centi, and milli across. And I thought those were the most important things, so I put those up top. I put King Hector died by drinking chocolate milk as well. I put that all in black. Just so that I could kind of remember that. I'm probably going to do some shading in on these too once I'm done. All right, let's go back and look at the chart and see what else I have. So I've got this information done. These are all the abbreviations. These are really important. The 1,000, the 100, the 10, the value of these things. So let me go back and take a look at and see if I can make a plan as to where I want to put those in. And again, yours doesn't have to be the same as mine. So I'm gonna take and probably put the 1000s, put the numbers going across here. Then I'll put the abbreviations maybe. All right, I'll take a second to do that. Okay, the next thing I did was I took and added all the abbreviations in. And I started off by doing my base units. I did meter, liter, gram. I just kept them all the same. Decimeter, centimeter, millimeter, deciliter, centiliter, milliliter, and so on. Now, you've got one left, and let's just check. Did we get everything on there? Yeah, we did. And if you want to put down length and liquid volume, you can do that. You don't need to. But I've got all of this information down. So the last thing, the last box, let's go back over here. The last box is for you to take and do a little research on your iPad. Can you find some things that are worthy of these? So I'm going to give you some examples, and I'm sure you can find them too. I just did a little Google search on them, but let's see. I'll choose a different color for this, something I haven't used. I don't know which, maybe the deep blue. I don't know if I've used the deep blue. All right, so something that weighs a kilogram. Let's do all these with grams. Let's use these. This is for a gram, and this is for a hectogram. I'll just write these in: hectogram, all the way down. I'm not going to do them all, but write them down. We're only going to do gram, and I want you to do an example of something that would weigh a kilogram. So an example of a kilogram would be a bag of sugar. Again, print those out so they can be read. Hectogram might be a bar of soap. And so on. The one I always use here is a paper clip for a gram. I'm just write down gram. I know I skipped one there, but I don't want to give you everything. All right, and can you find different examples than the ones I've given you? I think you can for all of these. Some of these over here, boy, a milligram, it doesn't weigh much, so I don't want to give you those. I want you to be able to find those. All right, once you've completed this, if you want to add some different color to it, you'll be graded upon the following rubric. All right, you'll be graded on these things here: on the accuracy of your measurements, the information provided, the neatness, and then the overall style and presentation of it. So probably about 3 points here and a point here. Total of 10 points on this activity. When you're done with it, getting all the information in there, I think it would be nice if you want to take and color these either in colored pencil or in pen or in marker. You certainly may do that, or do some backfilling in color. that's fine as well. This is just kind of the bare minimum I've got here. All right, thank you so much for listening, and good luck. Have fun.